to 2019 and was put on trial on charges of embezzling roughly 340 million won after conspiring with associates and using it for personal use.
자원봉사 분야의 최대 국제 행사인 세계 자원봉사 대회가 내년 10월 부산에서 열립니다. 부산시는 오늘 세계 자원봉사 협의회가 2024년 세계 자원봉사 대회 개최지를 부산으로 최종 결정하고 공식 발표했다고 밝혔습니다.
The World Volunteer Conference, the largest international volunteering event, will be held in Busan in October next year. Busan City announced today that the International Association for Volunteer Effort made the final decision to host the 2024 World Volunteer Conference in Busan and made the official announcement.
제18회 부산 국제 매직 페스티벌 매직 컨벤션이 오는 6월 30일부터 7월 2일까지 사흘 동안 영화의 전당에서 열립니다. 이번 행사에서는 국제 마술 대회, 매직 갈라쇼와 토크쇼, 관객들이 마술 체험을 할 수 있는 매직 라운지 등 다채로운 프로그램을 선보일 예정입니다.
The 18th Busan International Magic Festival and Magic Convention will open at the Busan Cinema Center from June 30th to July 2nd. The event will feature various programs, including an international magic competition, a magic gala show, a magic talk show, and a magic lounge where the audience can experience magic firsthand.
끝으로 날씨입니다. 부산지방은 곳에 따라 비가 내리겠지만 오늘 밤과 내일까지 대부분 소강 상태를 보이겠습니다. 내일 아침 기온 24도, 낮 기온은 28도로 습도까지 높아 무덥겠습니다. 부산의 현재 기온 26도입니다.
Rain will fall in some areas of Busan. However, there is a lull from tonight until tomorrow in most areas. Morning temperatures will average 24 degrees Celsius, with afternoon highs reaching a warm and humid 28 degrees Celsius. Temperatures are currently averaging at 26 degrees Celsius. It's time to wrap up this hour's news. I'm Annie Munn.
홍정화였습니다.
Thank you for joining. You are listening to BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Seriously friendly, then it's very serious. I very seriously want to help you.
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산영어방송.
Hello. Good evening and welcome to another hump day here at Inside Out Busan. Age is always important in any sense, especially in Korea, but Good news, South Koreans have become a year or two younger from today.
That is correct. So starting today, Korea has implemented the new age counting system starting today.
So this will help resolve legal disputes, social issues, also confusion resulting from the different age counting methods. 나이가 어떻게 되세요?
맞아요. 엄청 고민이었잖아요. How should I answer that?
그렇지.
그래서 저는 오늘부터 2살 줄여듭니다. 그래서 저는 29살로 할게요.
29살?
And by the way, just because I'm younger on paper, my voice sounds a little youthful, doesn't it?
29살? Me too. 29살
그래
됐어.
말이야. 친구 친구.
29.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Bright, sunshiny day. Yeah. Hey. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Yeah. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Bright, sunshiny day.
It was a sunshiny day today.
It was. We had a lull in the rain. A lull in the rain. I like that word. We kept hearing it during the news
We had
these
a
past couple
lull
days, right?
in the day.
Yes.
In the rain. I could see from my window all the way to 대마도.
It was a pretty clear day today too then.
It was gonna be a clear day. It was
Yeah.
clear for a while, but then it got misty because it was misty eyes on the mountain below. It was very misty because it's still very humid, right, after
네.
the rain. So the sun and the rain and all that together,
Yeah.
makes for lots of sea mist. But
Mm-hmm.
I could see at some point out there, and I was like, "Is that Demado in the distance?"
It is.
think
Probably
it
it
was.
was.
I
If
think
you
it
saw
was.
it past Gwangan Bridge,
Yeah.
then that is.
So I was looking out. So I know it was that area, but
Yeah.
I was like, are my eyes deceiving me? Are they creating the islands that I want to see?
그런데 if you were able to see it from Centum, you must have eyesight like an eagle.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
like an eagle.
That's the scary. That's
Hearing
a little
like a
scary,
cat.
actually, right?
What
Hearing
else?
like a cat.
How-
Taste like a dog.
Well,
Wait, do dogs
no,
have?
my dog eats raw potato. That's not a thing.
Yeah. Anyways, hopefully
Anyway.
everybody had a very clear, sunshiny day today.
Yes.
So a break in the rain that we had. Hopefully you enjoyed the day.
And the first song, by the way, that we're talking about all of this, Jimmy Cliff. I can see clearly now.
네.
Okay, it is Inside Out Busan. I am Laura McCluckey.
And I am Min-Soo Shin. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
So, law change makes everyone a year or two younger here in South Korea, starting today.
We have become 10 years younger. That's the loophole in the law,
Yeah,
right?
special law for us,
Yep.
right? South Korea will abandon its traditional age counting method, so 한국 나이, and adopt the internationally recognized system starting today known as the international age.
International age, or man 몇 살.
만 나이.
Man 나이.
네.
So this new international standard calculates a person's age from 0 at birth, and a year is added on every individual's birthday. So a baby who was born on December 1st would be considered 2 years old on January 1st if you are thinking about Korean age, right?
Yeah. 그래서 우리 로라 몇 살?
So I am now 29.
29.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody remember that number, 29.
29.
That's what Laura says she is.
That's what my manai says I am.
So the legal age for you now
The
is
legal
29.
age for me now. I used to be something else, and now I'm 29, and I'm going to stick at it.
And you're going to stick with it.
It's my broadcasting age.
Okay, you're. I didn't know we could have broadcasting
You
age.
can do whatever you want. It's your life, Minsu.
My broadcasting age, I want to feel like a golden 50. I would say, because the older you are, the more like experience, the more weather.
Walter Cronkite. Yep.
Exactly. But despite the change, however, there are things to keep in mind. So the definition of minors, because they're not allowed to purchase liquor and tobacco, will remain the same at below 19. This is under the Youth Protection Act, with the exception of those turning 19 in the same calendar year. And this is according to the ministry.
Okay,
so that's
which
good
is
to know.
very important. Those
네.
kind of laws relating to age, very, very important. So that means those who were born in 2004 can buy either liquor or cigarettes. Or earlier, by the way, 2004 or earlier. And keep in mind, it's not like rolling back the clock suddenly means that students are younger than 19 and they can, buy alcohol and cigarettes. That's
Yeah.
not how it works. They're still keeping that standard for the legality.
맞아요, because some people here in
Child
the studio are rolling back the clock a little too much. 29.
29.
Come on.
It's my broadcast age.
Yeah.
So just, you have something to say?
그래서 여러분, 오늘이 이제 만 나이로 가잖아요.
Yeah.
So I guess, how do you feel? Just because like on paper you're 2 years younger, do you feel 2 years younger or a year younger? I kind of do today for some reason.
Are you asking, that's just because you're immature. Are you asking me if I feel younger because of the Korean age rollback?
Yeah?
No, personally not at all. Because I never prescribed to the Korean age anyway.
Oh.
So it's never been, I came to Korea and learned about the Korean age system, and I never cared about it enough for it to be impactful to my personal life. Like for
Yeah.
my kids or for certain things, like 한국 나이로 어떻게 되세요? Like
그렇죠.
I use it in society,
Sure.
but it's not personally impactful for me
Yeah.
at all.
Well, for
What about our
me,
listeners?
I guess a little different from Rebel Without a Cause over there. I subscribe to it right away, but then I ended up regretting it once I hit the first digit of my age changed from 2 to 3 and then 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, you started regretting it for a decade?
No, like in that moment. So when I'm from like 29 to like 30, Korean age, I was like, oh, maybe like, if I didn't, subscribe to the Korean age, I could still be 28.
But you are still 28. Age is a number. It's all made up.
It is, right? But still, living here in Korea, you keep saying, oh, I'm 20. You keep saying I'm 30, and eventually you believe it.
Listen, somebody made the Gregorian calendar. Somebody made it, right? Someone said, let's make this into 12. Let's divide this by 12.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, all right, cool.
But somebody made the Korean age too. You know what I mean?
Like, who cares, man? Who cares?
Yeah.
Just be free.
맞아요. So this is good news for a lot of people. if you're like me, right, and you cared about what that front digit is in your age, so how is it for you?
Yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah, do you feel happy, sad? Is this going to make it things weird between your friends?
Yeah.
Because,
Maybe.
like your friends are like different age now.
Yeah.
Depending on your birthday.
Yeah, but if you're friends in Korea, then it's, I don't know, it's too complicated. Who cares?
맞아요.
Super Party Pooper name texting in, sup, y'all, good to be younger, feeling like Fry on the sun.
Wait, what does that mean, Fry on the sun? Super Party Pooper name, we need you to...
정신 차립시다.
No, 정신 차리시다보다, like, we need you to dissect into that.
Expand
Yeah.
on your comments.
Very curious, very
Yeah.
curious. So let us know what you think about the new age system. Pound 9050, shop 9050 will cost you 100 won. You can let us know on our Kakao Talk or join us on our YouTube. You can see our
Yeah.
pretty and handsome faces.
Yes, we are pretty and handsome. And younger.
Yes.
Now it's time for Young Annie. That's right. It's time for News Bites. Annie's in the studio. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
Hi, hi. How are you
Feeling
doing?
Younger?
No, I feel older.
Oh,
Even with the age system, that can't hold Annie back.
I want to go back to like 20.
yeah.
It's just so like
Like the
didn't know
exact
anything
number,
about the
not the
world.
20s.
No, I want to be like
20
20-year-old.
Right?
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that though. Because people don't take you serious enough when you're 20.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't know anything. Then it was nice.
Exactly.
Ignorance is bliss
No,
sometimes.
see, I want to be like face of a 20-year-old, but mind of now. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to have the digestive system of a 20-year-old.
Man, I want everything. But I actually am enjoying my life right now, so I don't know why I said that. But I mean, I think back and I'm like, those are good times. Didn't really
Right.
stress about
I think a lot of people have been like thinking back. It's like, oh, I'm like, let's say I'm 38 today, but like if I stuck to the Korean age, yeah, 38 was nice. Like remember the good old times, kind of. I'm sure a lot of people did that today.
38, the good old times.
Well, it seems like I'm living the heydays that you guys want to go back to, because
Okay, you can
I'm
stop
a
talking
millennial.
Yeah,
now.
you can
Let's get
stop
to it.
right there.
We are also
Do your
millennials,
job,
by
Annie.
the way.
Gosh.
Annie. Okay, what do you have?
all right, a little update on the was it National Election Commission's audit. So the Anti-Corruption and Civil Rights Commission, I will say ACRC from now on, which is investigating the National Election Commission NEC's alleged preferential hiring of former and current high-ranking children, said today, quote, "The Election Commission should stop their endless lies and keep its promise to the public that they made on the 2nd." So Chung Sung-yoon is the one who said this. He's the vice chairman of the ACRC who headed the commission's special investigation team. And he held a press conference today and urged that the NEC is showing an uncooperative attitude. And he added that the ACRC has requested employment documents for the past 7 years several times. However, the Election Commission has submitted records only for 2017 and then partial data for 2018.
All right. So the current update on this ongoing matter. What has the NEC said about this current status then?
Right. So an NEC official said that the submission has been delayed due to the large amount of data and that they are submitting employment data just in time order. The official added that they plan to submit additional data, and then additionally, they are reviewing how to respond to the request for data on non-public official hirings and such, as the ACRC are requesting a larger amount of documents than the Board of Audit and Inspection requires. The ACRC has requested hiring interview questions, documentation of non-public officials' promotions to full-time employees, an employee list, organization chart, and documents of this sort that are required to determine if there were any preferential actions taken.
Yeah. Now, like nepotism is something that unfortunately, takes place all throughout society. But to have it happen in the National Election Commission, which is obviously something
Yeah.
that everybody has their eyes on.
It's problematic.
That's
right?
why, because there's some people that, that's not over yet, like this, because we've been talking about this for the past couple of months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is a big issue. And, maybe if this nepotism like this, an incident like this happens like in a company, I'm sure many similar methods and systems will take place. But because this is like in the limelight of our country, that's why, with these continuous investigations taking place, it's kind of eye-opening for me just how, unequal and unfair
Yeah.
this kind of act is.
Well, I like how hard they're going into the investigations
that
as well.
too.
Yeah, I think recently we've seen a lot of crackdowns on lots of issues kind of in the news these days. So regardless of where it is, I feel like there's a lot of deep diving
Yeah.
into these kind of investigations.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for that update. What's next?
All right, a little update on the ghost children story as well. So the People Power Party and the government decided on today to operate an intensive reporting period for unregistered children born in the second half of this year, of course, to prevent the recurrence of the so-called ghost child tragedy. This is children who have not been registered to the government. And in the case of volunteer reporting and registering unregistered children, the government will also kind of push for measures to reduce responsibility on the parents, reducing kind of the penalties. And the Ministry of Health and Welfare launched a full investigation on the 2,123 unregistered children that were born between 2015 and 2022 who were recently discovered during another audit.
So we actually talked about this yesterday as well, but can you tell us if anything else was discussed during this meeting?
Yes, so the ruling party and the government also reaffirmed their position to introduce this birth notification system and also the protected birth system. So the birth notification system is basically a system that requires medical institutions to notify local governments of the birth of a child instead of the parents. And then the protective birth system is a system where the state protects children whose mothers were in crisis and then gave birth anonymously. This is to avoid mothers just abandoning their children. So the legislation for these systems is currently being discussed. With the birth notification system, though, the government has decided to establish a birth information transmission system that's digitally so that the bill can be implemented as soon as it is processed by the National Assembly.
This is so important, and I think the legislation that, the protective birth system, I think that's fantastic because it protects the children whose mothers were in crisis when they were born. But I think that also, and I'm sure it probably does,
Yeah.
but I would love to dig deeper into this and find out that it does protect the mothers specifically as well, because you can protect the children and that's so important, but the mothers also need to know that they're safe, protected,
Right.
and will remain anonymous.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
fact that they have the option of giving birth anonymously is
Yeah.
a hint of that, I guess.
I'd really love to, 'cause this is something that I'm really interested in, so I'd love to know more about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annie. All right, final piece of news for today.
Right. So speaking of babies, in April, the number of babies born fell below 20,000 for the first time within the month, and therefore the population has naturally declined consecutively for a whopping 42 months.
Wow.
So according to the April 2023 population trend that was released by the National Statistics Office today, the number of babies born in April was 18,484, which is actually a 12.7% decrease from a year ago. It's also the first time that the number of babies born fell short of 20,000 in April since 1981, which is when record taking began.
Wow.
Yeah. So the numbers continue to dwindle.
Yeah.
Have they revealed any other stats?
Yeah, some interesting ones that I brought. So by city and province, the number of babies born in all cities and provinces except for Chungbuk decreased from a year ago. So they're doing something over in Chungbuk. The number of marriages also fell to an all-time low as of April. So there was 14,475 marriages, marking the first decline in 9 months.
Wow.
The death toll was also 27,581, which is down 24.8% from a year ago.
Wow.
Which, yeah, you say wow, but basically it's an effect from the rapid increase in number of deaths due to COVID-19.
Right.
So now that it's
okay.
slowed, more people are living.
Yes.
And the number of divorced couples increased 1.3% to 7,288, which is an interesting number because that is about half of the marriages.
Wow. It's so interesting just breaking down the country in terms of demographics and statistics, isn't it? Like, because it seems like I've gone to so many weddings recently. It seems like
Right.
everybody's pregnant, everyone's getting married, and then you look at the statistics and it's quite shocking.
I definitely feel the same. I'm like, wow, everyone's getting married. I've
Yeah.
got so many weddings to go to,
Yeah.
but these numbers say otherwise.
It's because it's in your reticular activation system. These things, like, it's when something is in your life, that's something that you notice more of.
Right.
So I guess that's why it seems that way. But yeah.
I think Chungbuk needs to announce what they're doing to
Tell us
get
what
these
they're
babies
doing,
born.
Chungbuk.
Yeah, I'm sure, and there will be various groups from various local governments heading over there. right,
Yeah.
to find out their secret.
What are you doing?
Yeah. All right, well, that'll do it for today's News Bites. Annie, thank you so much. You go enjoy your young self. We'll see you back here tomorrow, okay?
I'll come back a day older tomorrow. Bye.
You better. Bye.
All right, let's have a song. This is Harry Styles, Late Night Talking.
Things haven't been quite the same. There's a haze on the horizon, babe. It's only been a couple of days and I miss you. Yeah. Nothing really goes to plan. You stub your toe or break your camera. I'll do everything I can to help you through. If you're feeling down, I just wanna make you happier, baby. Wish I was around, I just wanna make you happier, baby. We've been doing all this late night talking about anything you wanna till the morning. Now you're in my life. I can't get you off my mind. I've never been a fan of change, but I'd follow you to any place. If it's Hollywood or Bishopsgate, I'm coming too. If you're feeling down, I just wanna make you happier, baby. Wish I was around, I just wanna make you happier, baby. We've been doing all this late night talking about anything you wanna till the morning. Now you're in my life. I can't get you off my mind. 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 I won't even try. Even try to get you off my mind. Get you off my mind. We've been doing all this late night talking about anything you wanna till the morning. Now you're in my life. I can't get you off my mind. Can't get you off my mind. Talking, can't get you off my mind. Talking, won't even try. Talking, can't get you off from all this late night talking.
Late Night Talking by Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
Nah.
He's from the UK.
Fun little number. Yes, he is. Fact of the day.
Fact. Bears eat beets. Super Party Pooper name texting in saying it means I'm so very much good.
Okay.
Lol. Good.
Like a fry on the sun.
Like a fry on the sun. I don't even know what that means.
I'm gonna start
I
saying
like
that these
it.
days. If I'm
Feels
super
so
good,
like a fry on the sun.
like a fry on the sun. That's
I thought it was a Futurama reference,
like fry as in Futurama
Yeah.
fry. Oh.
but I don't think it is.
Yeah. I don't remember an episode with him being on the sun.
Yeah.
But that could be a saying.
Yeah.
Super Party Pooper name? You a Futurama fan?
Yeah.
Let us know.
I've got a joke for you.
Yes.
Why did the man have so many seagulls on his head?
Why did the man have so many seagulls on his head?
Yeah.
Like, is this like a Korean thing?
It's just a stupid joke.
Why did he have so many seagulls on his
Yeah.
head? Why?
Because he had a chip on his shoulder.
Oh my gosh. Because he had a chip on his shoulder.
All right. It's now 6:32. We're way over time. The mercury level currently averaging 24 degrees Celsius. Morning lows tomorrow morning of 23, afternoon highs of 26. It will be cloudy in Busan tomorrow. Showers from the evening due to the influence of course, 장마, rainy season. And there's a very good chance that some regions will have a tropical night tonight, which means temperatures don't go below 25, even overnight time.
벌써 시작이에요?
내일 부산은 흐리겠고요. 저녁부터 소나기가 쏟아지겠습니다. 열대야도 조심하세요.
You know, that's one of my least liked words, Korean words.
뭐요?
열대야.
열대.
Whenever I hear that, 그냥 기분이 그냥 안 좋아져요.
열대가 절대 듣고 싶습니다.
네?
Like that?
아니요,
열대.
열대야.
열대야.
Like the words combined.
So
Because you just say
열대야.
열대야, tropical night phenomenon. Hate it. Just
So-
even like just like hearing it kind of like sends like shivers down my
So
spine.
열대야, 절대야.
절대야. 열대야 절대 하지 마세요. 네. When it comes to our traffic congestion over on 충렬대로 from Anlak Underpass going towards Naesung Junction, there's also congestion over on Mandok대로 from Mandok Junction towards Mandok Tunnel. Numero dos. That's number 2,
Yes.
folks. Slow-moving traffic over on Buam Overpass from Chinyang Junction going towards Yeonji Three-Way intersection. And unfortunately, a report of an accident, a van and truck collision. This is on Chungang Express from Gangseo Nakdong-Gangyo Bridge going towards Busan. That's specifically on Nakdong-Gangyo Bridge. Okay, so everybody
Drive safe.
부탁드립니다.
Yeah.
네네.
All right, let's keep this party rolling. It's time for the 5분 상식. Yes, time for IOB's 5분 상식, 5-minute common sense, getting you in the know of some of the most trending and useful and need-to-know words and expressions out there. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠.
네, 오늘의 5분 상식은요. 주가 하락에도 공매도 급증하고 있는 요즘 공매도란이 무엇일까요? 이거 알아보도록 하겠습니다. Good afternoon, Mr. Logan. How have you been?
Dr. Shin, Lisa 선생님, I can't sleep. These 공매도 are haunting me. I bought some U.S. stocks hoping for the best, but then the 공매도 frenzy began. My portfolio is in shambles.
Oh my, Mr. Logan, how has your 주식, how has it affected your sleep?
Well, I've become a nocturnal creature, Dr. Shin. I stay up all night, eyes glued to the screen, hoping my stocks won't plunge into a black hole, like my black holes under my eyes. Anyway, Dr. Shin, you seem sick. What's happening? Your eyes are really red, like a rabbit's.
Oh, don't worry about me. Honestly, so I began investing in American stocks even though they were going down. All because of what you had said, Mr. Logan. I'm 주식 초보, as you know, so I've been obsessively checking stock prices every day. I've become a stock addict myself.
Well, as someone with experience, that's just the start, Dr. Shin. Let me give you some advice. Buy low, sell high, and always have a good laugh when things go wrong.
I'm a bit embarrassed to admit, but I've been started to sleepwalk. 몽유병까지 생겼어요. Last night, I woke up in my neighbor's yard yelling stock tips at the dogs.
At the dog?
He was back at me.
Oh no! Well, Dr. Shin, you gotta laugh when things go wrong, even when you think you're a dog.
Oh, ruff, ruff. Oh, oh. That's got to be some of the best advice I've ever heard. You got to laugh and bark like a dog whenever things go wrong.
Nobody asked you to bark like a dog. That was your own doing.
But you said to do it, right?
I said laugh when things go wrong, even when you think you're a dog.
Ah, okay. So I heard what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
I heard when you think you're a dog, that means to bark.
Yeah, maybe.
So we based this little, short 공투 on the latest news that short sellers are ramping up bets against U.S. stocks, even as paper losses on the position surpass $100 billion. So let's get into this. What is 공매도 in the stock market?
Okay, in the stock market, 공매도 is short selling in English. So it's when a trader borrows shares and sells them in the hope that the price will fall after so they can buy them back for cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah. 공매도, short selling. Then how does it work? Because I got to tell you, I took a couple econ classes in college.
Yeah.
Did not pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. Short selling involves borrowing a security whose price you think is going to fall from your brokerage and selling it on the open market. So your plan would be to then buy the same stock back later because once you buy it, you hope basically you hopefully buy it for a lower price than you initially sold it for, and then you want to pocket the difference after you repay the initial loan.
Okay. But that sounds too easy to be true, right? I'm sure there's risk of short selling.
Yeah, of course. Lots of risks. Several risks associated with short selling. The most common risks include the potential for unlimited loss. All of it. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Margin calls, also stock loan fees, the potential for a short squeeze. And if a short seller's bet goes against them, they can be exposed to, just losing everything.
Yeah.
Because the stock price has no cap on how high it can go.
Yeah. Short selling, it seems like a lot of people because, these days a lot of people have a lot of interest, in stocks, investing and whatnot. So I'm sure this is something that has been on their minds.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. 공매도, short selling or short stock selling. 없는 주식을 판다는 뜻입니다. 주가가 떨어질 것으로 예상되는 주식을 미리 빌려서 비싼 값에 판 뒤 실제 주가가 내려가면 주식을 사는 투자 기법이라고 합니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다.
Welcome back. It is time for a brand new signal just for today because Tegan's in the studio for
Decide to spice it up a little bit, Tegan. Keep you on your toes.
Up close with Tegan. Hi, Tegan.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good.
What happened?
We decided to just, kind of, enter into your segment with a brand new track. We just want to
Yeah.
spice it up just a little bit.
Ooh, a little spice.
Shaking things up. How are you?
Spice up your life. I'm good.
Aw.
And this week for Busan Up Close, I went. It's been Changma started, so the
Yeah.
monsoon started.
Yeah.
So I think even though when you think of summer, you think of like going to the beaches and you think of enjoying that kind of fun in the sun. Well, you need to be prepared for Korean summer, which is going to be indoor fun as well. So I wanted to show you guys some fun things you can do in the rain and a new place in Busan. And today we are going to Naewon Jeongsa.
Naewon Jeongsa.
Yes. Yes.
So this is a temple.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a temple located in Busan, and it's located east of Mount Gudoksan in Sogu, Busan. So actually, I've been to tons of temples. I mean, you guys can probably name, what are the temples that you like? Yeongdusan, Bomosa, like so many temples around Busan.
I like Wongaksa.
Where's Wongaksa?
Wongaksa. I think you've probably been to it. You need to, if you're driving, you need to go through the army base
Ooh.
up to get it.
So it's in the mountains.
It's up in Jangsan, yeah.
Oh, I think I've been there, but
Yeah.
through hiking.
Yeah, you can get there hiking without going through the base.
And it kind of has like a little waterfall area. Is that, am I right? Okay. I've been probably to almost every temple,
Yeah.
but through hiking, but.
I mean, I don't go often, but when I do find myself like wanting to, I would like to, take a stroll around
Yeah.
there. 용궁사.
Yeonggungsang, yeah.
해동용궁사.
Yeah, that's the famous one, Temple by the Sea, right?
Yeah, you don't get that a lot here in
Yeah,
Korea.
so today we're going to talk about doing like a temple stay as well. So I don't know if our listeners know, you can also go and you can stay the night. You can do experiences at the temple. So you don't have to be religious to do this. You don't have
Yeah.
to believe in Buddhism. Anyone is welcome to do these experiences, and they're really affordable. And Laura and I have done a temple
We've
stay.
done one. We did, what was it, Naksansa? We
Is
went to
that right?
Naksansa, yeah.
It's up in Gangwon-do?
Yeah, we went to Naksansa because Taegan and I had the wonderful opportunity before the Pyeongchang Olympics to be able to go up and check out the site. And part of that tour was a temple stay at Naksansa.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Beautiful.
The
That's-
two of you in a temple.
Can you imagine us being very calm?
We
I
were
could-
very well behaved.
Or were you? I could imagine like one of like the the priests or the monks kind of always kind of following behind you guys.
Just making sure we were okay.
Troublemakers, right?
We took some cool photos with our rubber shoes. It was very nice. But that's also a temple by the sea.
Yeah, it is a temple by the sea. So, listeners, send us a message and let us know. Have you ever done a temple stay? What activities did you do there, and how was your experience? And so, Laura, try to remember some of the things we did so we can discuss that too. And what about you, Minsu? Have you ever done a temple stay?
I have not done a temple stay. I mean, I've eaten at meals at temples. As like an experience thing. I've done the kind of like the meditation / like I think I even helped clean around a temple because that's
of
part of
course.
like the process,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I have never actually stayed over. No, like slept over there.
Well, now that you have a child, maybe it's a good excuse to escape home.
Oh,
And-
I wouldn't. I can't imagine me taking my daughter over
No,
there.
I mean you getting some peace and quiet.
Oh, you mean escape, right? Oh, you brought a very good idea.
But you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you also have to do 108 bows.
Yeah, there is a little bit of work involved. but,
Sure. I'll think about it.
Well, today we're going to learn about 내원장사. So let's take a listen as I arrive at the temple. 안녕하세요. I'm here now. 우리 지금은 어디 있어요? 여기 내원장사 맞아요?
네, 맞습니다.
내원장사 부산에서 좀 어디 있어요?
부산 서구 꽃마을 쪽에 우리 템플스테이형을 해서 우리 사찰과
멋있어요. 여기 처음 왔어요. 나 부산 거의 다 갔는데 여기 처음이라서 여기 왜 내원장사 좋아요? 여기 왜 다른 정사보다 여기 왜 추천해요?
우리 내원정사는 여기 보면은 도심 속에 조용한 사찰로서 여기 조금만 나가 보면은 바로 도시가 있는데.
네네 여기 남포역 부산역 바로 아마 10분 정도 할 수 있어요.
맞아요. 우리가 그래서 차로 한 10분 정도만 오면은 우리 완전 여기 시골 같은 느낌.
예 시골 하지만 여기 가면 느낌이 우리 다른 도시 갔어요.
예, 휴식을 얼만큼 취할 수 있는 우리 그런 사찰입니다.
I don't think I've ever been to this temple.
It's the first time I'd ever been to this temple too, and the views actually. So yesterday was raining a lot, right? So in the morning we had really heavy downpours, and then when we got there, it was So basically, how to get there? It's a little confusing. So you need to go to Seodae-shin on subway, and then you can actually take a taxi there. And so to get there, it takes it's a short taxi ride, 10 minutes. But basically, you go down to downtown Busan area where it's near Busan Station, Seodae-shin area, and then you take this taxi and you go up these winding roads. And as you're going up too, you see all these cute little coffee shops, little pajeon shops. It's really cute just on the way up itself. So I want to go back and just go and check out that area too. Once you get up to the temple area, to go to the temple stay area, you even have to go farther up into the mountain. And it was really cool because you were out on the mountain, and then the fog was right at our eye level.
Oh, that must have been
That's
pretty.
cool.
Yeah, so it was really good photo op.
Aw, like you're in the clouds.
Yeah, in the clouds. So it was the first time I had been there, and I would really want to go back again because it was a cool area to check out. So, yes. Have you been there, Minsu?
I have not. Yeah, so this is my first time hearing about because we have a good amount of temples, not only in Busan, just all throughout Korea.
Right.
I'd be interested. I'm sure that they have programs like this. You just kind of get a stamp on every temple you visit.
They they have the Galmet Gale program, right? So
Yeah.
you travel around Busan in different roads, and you get stamps for going along those trails, and you
Yeah.
can get a certificate at the end. That would be cool. A temple program,
Yeah.
go to
Temple
each
passport,
temple,
yeah.
temple passport, temple mission or something like that. That would be cool.
If they don't have it, copyrighted by me today. All right.
Busan tourism.
Yeah.
How was it different to other temples? Because you've been to so many.
For this one, I would say the thing that was different was it's located really downtown area, and so for example, Temple by the Sea, you have to go out to Gijang, or Bomasa, you have to go up to the very northern tip of Busan. This is right kind of in the center of the city, so that was a little bit different.
It's kind of the one. It's a rather small temple, but it's in the middle of Nampo-do. Nampo-dong. The one right across from the girls' high school, I believe, over there, right? That's in like in between like little boutiques.
Yeah.
It's
Right?
not that central, but
That's a famous one, right?
I think so. I see a lot of people coming in and out of there.
Yeah.
this one is like this one still feels like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Ah,
You do
okay.
not see any buildings around you, so you're in the middle.
Okay.
But yes, it is near the city, very close. So that is different about it.
Cool.
And let's learn a little bit about the temple stay that they offer.
아, 너무 좋아요. 그리고 여기 오면 템플스테이도 할 수 있어요?
네, 할 수 있습니다.
템플스테이 뭐예요?
템플스테이는 내가 한 번쯤 이렇게 일상생활을 벗어나서 나 자신을 한번 돌아보고 그다음에 또 관찰을 해보면서 앞으로 살아갈 방향도 한번 생각해보고 모든 거에 나의 휴식 시간이라고 생각하시면 됩니다.
그래서 사람 여기 오면 자고 like, 하루 종일 있어요? 아니면 여기도 자고 아니면 어떻게 해요?
우리 여기는 뭐 당일날 하루로 하는 하루 코스도 있고 1박 2일 코스도 있고 2박 3일도 있습니다.
외국 분도 많이 와요?
아유 많이 오시죠. 외국 분들 오시면요 너무 좋아하셔요. 오셔서 여기를 보면 한 번쯤 와서 여기도 쉴 수 있다는 공간이 있다는 게 뭐 다 그 자기가 사시는 나라하고 다른 분위기를 맞기 때문에 너무 좋아하십니다.
멋있어요. 마지막 질문. 여기 외국인 오면 한국말로 다 외워야 돼요? 한국말로 다 해야 돼요? 아니면 영어로도 괜찮아요?
네, 영어도 괜찮고 또 우리 한국말도 하시고 계시면 한국말도 괜찮으시고 우리 여기 오시면은 다 영어로 통역을 할 수 있는 분들이 계시기 때문에 언어와는 전혀 상관이 없이 오셔서 푹 쉬고 가시면 됩니다.
That's what I need.
And that's really good to know because temple stay, not only here in Busan, but all throughout Korea, is a very sought after activity of visitors to Korea.
Means that you understood all of my broken Korean. What was I talking to her about?
So basically, towards the end, asking about, if the temple stay, if you have to do it, does everything have to be in Korean? But no, they do offer services in various other languages, including English.
Yeah, so you can
Were
do
you
it.
testing me if I was listening to your clip?
Well, you were, but I was wondering if the listener, because some of the listeners might not understand. So I thought, let's make sure they understand. So basically, I was asking her about the English and asking her if it's a temple stay at this temple, because I don't know if all temples offer temple stays. So
Yeah, I think some of them don't.
yeah.
Like the one I was talking about, the one in the middle of Nampo-dong. I can't imagine that one offering because it's so small.
Yeah.
So this one offers programs for one night, like overnight programs, different programs, and they also do just a day program. So if you don't want to stay the night or you're, just want to check it out for the day, you can do the day. I actually didn't do a overnight program.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
I did like a special program. So we did the stuff that they do at the temple stay, but I actually didn't spend the night. But I did get to go in the room where you sleep. I got to eat the food that you eat. I got to do the activities that you do.
배고파.
So I did like a condensed version of the temple stay.
And that's really good as well because some people don't want to stay over. Some people have already paid for a hotel and they want to go and experience the temple culture. But they don't necessarily want to sleep over there because it might be 부담 for a lot of people.
And
like
Laura, you were saying, mention this. What are the wake up times?
5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Did we get up at 4 or 4:30?
It's very early. I think it
Yeah.
might depend on the temple, but it's very, very
I'm
early.
curious, how do they wake you up?
They just come in and they start kicking you. And
Kind of like a scared straight kind of thing? Get up!
so you hear the
The knock.
Ah, okay.
I love that sound. Kok, 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 kok. I can't remember what it's called. And they will come in and switch the light on.
Turn your light
Just turn the light on.
I blacked out that experience. I think I forgot it. I hate waking up, so.
It was that painful for you, that's why.
It was so sudden, and it's not a peaceful way to wake up. The sound, depending on where you are, because I've only done a couple of temple stays, so I'm sure it's different. But that tok 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 sound, that's really beautiful. And I love that, and I love waking up to that, to have my mom just really like, But when you get woken up with the light on, or someone's like, 네, 일어나야 됩니다. I'm just like,
Yeah.
맞아요.
angry.
That's my daughter every morning. 이제 일어나야지.
She's an early bird.
Yeah.
Well, there is something that you guys probably will like, and everyone likes, at least I like.
Yeah.
It's eating time. So,
Oh, that's what I'm curious about.
yeah, so let's take a listen as I talk with someone while we're eating the food.
Time to eat the temple food, and now we're gonna eat it, and we're gonna find. 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
나니 안녕하세요. We're at the temple together and we're going to eat the food. 나니 오늘 우리 무슨 음식 먹어요?
저희 오늘 이거 무슨 음식이라고 해야 될까요? 사찰?
사찰 음식.
네, 사찰 음식을 저희가 먹고 있거든요. 와, 근데 진짜 대박인 게 저는 이렇게나 많은 메뉴들이 그리고 되게 맛있게 잘 나오는지 몰랐어요. 저는 사실 사찰 음식이라고 하면 약간 주먹밥 한두 개 정도 나올 줄 알았거든요. 정말 깜짝 놀랐습니다.
Yeah, so there's rice, there's like different kinds of kimchi, there's dubu, and there's soup, but it's all so beautiful in so many colors.
I'm so hungry.
It's the colors, I think, for me, that kind of did it. I was like, wow, it's like too pretty to eat.
Yeah.
Even like the bibimbap that they had, it was just so colorful.
Yeah, everything's so colorful. It's like actually, I think you get all your vitamins and minerals from eating at the
Temple
temple.
food's
Oh, yeah.
super healthy, and depending on where you go, because the one we went to in Naksansa, they have fake meat. So soy
yeah, that's
meat.
right.
Yeah. So we ate soy meat, but it tastes so very, very similar to actual meat.
Yeah, this
So-
one just had tofu. But
Yeah.
yeah, the one we went to, and they had noodles and
Yeah.
yummy stuff.
Yeah, it was so.
But to be honest, I would say if you do go to a temple stay, bring some snacks. Because if you're like me, like at nighttime, I get a little hungry.
okay.
And they put you in bed at like 9.
Yeah, you got to be lights out by 9 p.m., which
Yeah.
is great, actually. I love that.
But I
can
want
just-
some snacks in bed.
Yeah. Well, you're watching your phone when phones are not supposed to at the temple stay.
Yeah. And let's hear a little bit about the activities you can do before we wrap up.
What is 다종체험 뭐예요?
내려가면은 범종이라고 하는 게 있어요. 그걸 갖다가 조성 예불 하기 전에 치는 거예요, 그가. 저녁에는 33번 치고 새벽에는 28번 치는데 10분 안에 33번 칩니다.
Okay. So we have to do this 체험. This is part of temple 체험, and 우리 방금은 팔찌도 만들었는데 영정 이름이 뭐예요? 영주도 만들었는데 what is it?
합장주.
합장주도 했는데.
그러니까 이렇게 그 염주 중에서 108염주 이거는 이제 큰 거는 긴 거는 염주라 그러고
오케이.
이렇게 54주 이하로 내려가는 거는 단주라 그러는데 손목에 차는 거는 갖다가 정확한 이름은 합장주예요.
합장주. Okay. So these are all the 체험 you can do here at the temple here at 여기 이름이 내완 정상.
I'm like Jeongsang 아니요. I just added a little bit. You know, I did like a Busan dialect on it. Like, I added a little like twang to it.
맞아요.
Yeah. So you can make bracelets. You can make lanterns. You get to, as Laura was saying, like they hit the bell like ding ding in the morning and at night, and they do it a certain amount of times depending on that. So lots of stuff you guys can do if you've never done a temple stay. I definitely recommend it and check out Naewon Jeongsa as a good one to go to.
Yeah.
And
It sounds like a packed schedule.
Yeah, they really do fill it with a lot of things.
Yeah.
You go there, you change into your temple pajamas, and then it's go, go, go.
Yeah.
And they really want you to experience lots of different things.
Sure.
I'm sure, like, if you were there for a few days, it would be much more
Of
relaxed.
course.
yeah, but I got like a very condensed version.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
I think
nice.
if you could do it there, they give you more time.
Yeah.
But,
Well, Tegan, thank you so much. Yeah, because I think it's a good chance to share with listeners who might have been thinking about doing a temple stay. This is what it's all about. But this is just
Yeah.
at one temple. I'm sure various other temples have
Yeah.
like different themes, different activities. So
Exactly.
nice. Naewon Jeongsa, Tegan has taken it today. Thank you so much, Tegan.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Tegan.
Thank you.
We'll
have a
see you
good one,
next
okay?
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, it's time for us to say bye-bye for, just a few moments. We'll be back at 7 o'clock with the second half of Inside Out Busan. In the meantime, this is Joy Division. Love will tear us apart. Stick around.
When cruising bites hard and ambitions are low and resentment rides high, but emotions will grow. And we're changing our ways, taking different roads. Then love will tear us apart again. Love will tear us apart again. Why is the bedroom so cold? Turned away on your side. Is my timing that floor? How the feelings are dry. fearless appeal that we've kept to our lives. But love will tear us apart.
Transforming our world. Navigating toward a better future. The great transformation begins right here in Busan through the 2030 Busan World Expo. Busan will set a new course toward a better tomorrow for the Earth and for humanity. So we need your support to start a new movement.
I support.
지지합니다.
I support. I support.
지지합니다.
I support.
Busan, the city where you can experience nature, technology, and people. The one and only 2030 Busan World Expo awaits you.
See you right here in Busan.
See you right here in Busan. This campaign is brought to you by BFM 부산영어방송.
SNS 매너가 무너진 세상. SNS 매너 군법을 익혀라. 조상권. 타인의 얼굴을 보호하는 스티커 매너. 저작권. 합법적인 음원 체크. 영화 작품 유료 폰트 등을 함부로 쓰지 않는 매너. 상표권. 상표 대용 판매는 불법. 비매너. 이것이 SNS 고수의 매너 권법. 매너를 지켜야 SNS가 즐거워요. 국익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 인사이드 아웃 부산.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the second half of Inside Out Busan, 7 o'clock on the dot here. I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Min-Soo Shin. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a couple shout-outs for Taegan, who I think still hears us. She just left the studio. We had Mr. E and H. Kenya saying, good evening, Taegan. Welcome, Taegan. Hi, Taegan. Lots of fans on the YouTube, Taegan.
Wow, Taegan.
Aw.
She's very cool.
Yeah, she is. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. And that means it's time for My Life, My English.
네.
Through this little segment, we listen to the stories of those out there who are learning English or speaking English or are some way on their English language learning journey.
네.
So let's see who Annie brought into the studio this week.
Hello, everyone. This is IOB's weekly segment, My Life, My English. I'm Annie, Annie입니다, and we have this week's guest here in the studio. Hello.
Hello, I'm Hannah-seo, English name Ellen. I'm a sophomore majoring in electronic engineering at Donga University. I'm so glad to meet everyone. Hello.
Hi. Electronic engineering. That is intimidating. Very scary. Okay, so let's jump right in. How did you get to know BEFM?
Actually, my sister is a BFM reporter, so she recommends this radio to me, but she had no idea that I applied this program. And I usually listen and watch BFM program, and it was very useful. And especially BFM operates the tube channel lately, and I can watch your program more easily.
Ah, I'm glad you like the live stream. Should we tell the listeners who your sister is?
Yes.
Our listeners may know
Haley.
Haley is usually found in the morning program, Morning Wave in Busan, but she's also on Inside Out Busan on Tuesdays, I believe. She does everything. Okay. Ellen, do you have any experience living overseas or any fun stories from those times?
I lived in Seattle until 8 years old. And actually, I don't have a lot of memory about it because I was so young. And my family went to Hawaii when I was really young. I can't remember this episode. My sister always say this. My mom bought a pack of pineapple candy. It was really good and everyone wanted to have some. But my mom only gave it to me because I was baby of the family. And my sisters was mad and they still talk about this now.
Every day reminding you.
Yes, but because of that and other reasons, I had a lot of cavities and I had to have dental surgery, which was very expensive because it was America.
Yes, for those that don't know, any sort of medical care in America is quite expensive if you don't have really, really good insurance.
Yes.
And even then, it's expensive. All right, well, thank you for that story. I hope you still eat pineapple candy today. So, do you have any moments where you were very proud to be able to speak English?
When I work at my part-time job, I can communicate with foreign customers. So I used to work at a sandwich shop and convenience store now. We got a lot of English speakers there. So when foreign customers come to our store, my coworkers want me and many called me. And I could get English test scores faster than other students. So many friends envy me and many friends question to me, how can I do to improve my score?
What do you say?
Go to academy.
Go study. So it's really nice that you're studying something very difficult and you're also working. So you
Yes.
must be really busy.
I think that's my destiny. And my sister said, go hard, more hard, study and more hard.
I kind of agree with that. Do it while you're young. Get all the experiences you can. Do it while you have the energy because as you get older, you get tired.
You said same things with my sister.
Seriously. I feel it now and I'm not even that old. I am jealous that you can do all of this. Okay, so do you have any maybe English learning tips and tricks that you can share with us?
I'm not perfect at English grammar. Watching English movie with Korean subtitle and repeat what the actor says. And if you can't follow what the actor says, see subtitle and translate to English in your brain.
Oh, you're training to be an interpreter.
Yes. My sister is nearby to me and she write the important 중요한 표현들을 계속 적어주면서
It's because she's a teacher as well. It's her 직업병.
Yes. I don't want to do. I just watch for fun, but my sister said, go study.
No, that's what happens when I have an older sister too. Well, good. Okay, so your tips are watch an English show or movie with Korean subtitles. Translate it in your head if you need.
Yes. And then I think the best way to improve the English skill is don't be afraid and just speak.
Yes, I always say this. Confidence is the best way.
Yes.
It's okay if you get it a little wrong. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Many of my friends have good score of English at Korean SAT than me, but they can't apply to reality. So I think it's very sad.
I think Korean education is changing now, but let's work a little harder. I admire your confidence and just your comfort in speaking English. So now it's time to wrap up. This is our last question. Do you have any life goals or your goals for your English?
First, I want to go to a graduate school in USA and then join a global company to CS engineer. Yes, if I can, I will live in America and I want to go back to the house I lived in when I was young.
I did that recently. It was weird.
I think my English is not good, so I'll spend my time to improve speaking and writing skills.
Being on the radio is a great step because it takes a lot of bravery. So I'm glad you came on to My Life, My English today. Thank you for applying.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming to studio. I'll see you probably around.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
I love it. Annie, thank you so much for that lovely interview. And of course, to 해나님.
네, 서해나 학생.
I love Hannah.
네.
I love that name.
Yeah, pretty name. English name Ellen, sophomore at Donghua University. Yeah.
Sounds so very much mature though.
Yeah, I mean, being the maknae of her family, she mentioned, like there's a lot of times, sometimes, for like parents, they end up taking care of the maknae more. Yeah. But because like it's, very competitive when it comes to, their older siblings, sometimes the maknae is the one that kind of matures like the fastest, I feel like.
Yeah, because, well, also they have role models.
Yeah.
So if you see like the younger kids copying what the older kids are doing. Yeah, I guess. Anyway. Anyway, she lived across in Seattle until she was 8. That's where Tegan's from as well. And she doesn't really remember, but she also remembers going to Hawaii and then eating pineapple candy and getting lots of cavities and dental surgery. And then Annie was like, well, yeah, it's very expensive. Anyway, I hope you eat more pineapple candy. Annie, didn't you just hear what she said about
she
her
just
dental
shared
surgery?
this trauma with you, right? That she never wants to live again. Do it again.
Do it again. Oh my
As
God,
Annie
what have I
says.
done? Do it again.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems like, she's attending school and she has a lot of goals in mind and she has her part-time job, but she takes that opportunity to continue to work on her English. If she sees, customer come in, and maybe probably not Korean, assuming from another country, she still wants to help. Let's say if they don't know the Korean language well, she wants to still use her English to be able to make their time at the restaurant as comfortable as possible. And I think that's a really great way to kind of follow through on what you've been studying, up to this point.
Yeah. And she says she's looking forward to going to, or she wants to go to grad school in the USA.
네.
And, she wants to just go back to America and see the house that she lived in when she was young.
Have you ever done that?
I've gone to the places that I lived when I was young, but only bad memories flooded back.
Oh,
there was no nostalgia. There was no like, oh, that's nice. It was like, oh, yeah, done.
I guess that's unfortunate. Like to me, last time I visited like the 2 houses that I lived in before back in California, I would drive by, but then like, I swear like, did I actually live here? Because I have no like recollection or memory of like what it looked like, right? And I would go like, and then my cousins would be like, yeah, that's your house right there. That's where you lived. I was like, no way, it didn't look like that. Yeah. So I realized I have really bad memory.
Yeah, I guess I kind of disassociate. I compartmentalize the stages of my life that have kind of happened in the past. But I have lovely fond memories of my grandparents' house.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can remember
my grandma's still alive.
I can remember my grandparents' house pretty well compared to mine.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Well, hopefully for Ellen, her visit is much better than ours.
Yes. Don't think about us. Ellen, thank you so much for a lovely interview. Good luck with your studies.
네.
And your English is not bad. Your English is fantastic.
네. We have JB님 texting in on our YouTube saying, 저게 not good이면 저는 terrible bad. I think referring to, Ellen's English.
Yeah.
But JB, we're not doing this to discourage you, when you're English learning.
맞아요. 그리고 특히 진짜 비교하지 마세요.
네, 비교하는 순간부터 I feel like your confidence when it comes to English
확 떨어진다.
네,
It just
맞아요.
goes straight down. So don't compare yourself to other people ever, ever, ever. You can look at other people and look at them, and if you feel jealous, that's information for you that you want to do something that they're doing.
Yeah.
So don't let it discourage you. Let it inspire you
Definitely.
to move forward.
And that's what we're doing, My Life, My English,
Yeah.
because it's citizens, like Ellen and like other people that we've had on our show to provide, encouragement for themselves as well as to other English learners out there.
Yeah, and JB name, you just gotta, just do you, buddy. Your English is just as good as it needs to be where you are in your life. Don't think about what anyone else is doing.
맞아요.
Everybody's different.
Thank you, Coach Laura.
You're welcome.
That'll do it for today's My Life, My English.
Yes.
네.
All right, so should we have a song?
Let's do it.
This is Think About Chew by Sam Kim and Loco.
언제부턴가 많은 말이 왜 우리에게 필요 없어진 수많은 밤을 함께 보낸 우리들에게 다가오는 아름다운 날들 우린 서로 마냥 끌렸지 babe 우린 마치 자석 같았어 아름다운 내 손을 처음 잡았을 때 나 느껴지는 너와 나 둘만의 사랑 Baby now Oh yeah Ooh baby 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 I love you baby 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 Oh yes you are Baby baby yes you are Think about you
Think about you
Think about you
I've been thinking about you Yeah 베개 위에 머리가 닿을 때 포근한 미소가 지어져 시선이 마주치고 손이 맞닿을 땐 빨리 가는 시간이 미워져 타오르는 장작불 앞에 앉아 연기를 바라봐 벅차올라 기분은 높아지고 우린 그 연기를 타고 날아가
그 많은 나를 혼자 있었지 babe 마치 얼음처럼 차가웠던 날들 나를 향한 내 미소를 느꼈을 때 내 마음은 이미 타오르는 한여름 서로 미워한 적도 있었지 babe 싸우는지 연애인지 모를 만큼 그때마다 우린 이 노래 들으면서 서로의 얼굴 빤히 보며 웃었던 그 기억 여기서 또 한 번 너와 나 둘만의 사랑이 느껴지네 오늘 밤 baby now
다시 느껴져는 느껴지네 내 두 볼이 붉어지게 깊어지는 밤은 이 깊어지는 밤은 Think about you And I've been thinking about you Yeah
I like that at the end there.
Yeah. A little chill little number. As we are into the chill hour here inside Out Busan. Sam Kim과 Loco, Think About You.
Chu.
And we're
I
always
love that
thinking
it's
about
think
Chu.
about Chu.
Yeah.
Chu Chu.
You thinking about me? Yeah, I think about you. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. What?
It's the second half of Inside Out Busan. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us here at BEFM. 부산영어방송입니다. 반갑습니다. 90.5, 103.3 FM. You can find us on the radio. You can also find us on YouTube. So go and check out BEFM or 부산영어방송's YouTube channel. We're streaming live.
네. JB님 following up his message and after our advice saying appreciate sweet advice.
Yeah.
JB님, that's our job.
사랑해요.
사랑합니다.
If
진짜.
you're looking at 너튜브, I'm giving you a heart.
Yeah.
You know, I've started doing this love heart, but I'm confused a lot of the time. So a lot of the time it looks nuts.
It's like for me, I don't know what to do with the other fingers
Look at this
when I'm
thumb.
making the heart. You know what I mean? and a lot of the times, you know, when you like make hearts like with shapes with your hands, like I can see the shape that I'm making, but like it's because of the other fingers that aren't making or part of the shape.
They're kind of like spiders or like,
They kind of like
Doesn't
freak
work.
me out a little
Doesn't
bit.
work.
Yeah.
But see the little Korean finger hearts.
Oh, this
the
is
easiest one.
This is easy. Yeah. So sending lots of love to our listeners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shall we do the weather?
Let's do it.
Okay, the mercury level. Have we already done the weather?
We have not.
No,
in the
first
second
half
hour.
only, right?
Yeah.
It's currently 24 degrees Celsius on average here in Busan. Morning lows tomorrow morning of 23, afternoon highs of 26. It will be cloudy all day tomorrow. Showers will pass in the evening. It might be difficult to sleep because of high humidity, and like we said in the first hour, some regions might experience tropical night syndrome. 내일 부산은 제일 흐리겠고요. 저녁에는 소나기가 지나가겠습니다. 그래서 여러분 우산 챙겨가세요.
네. When it comes to traffic, congestion on Hwangyongdaero from Munjeon Junction going towards Hwangyong Tunnel. There's also congestion over on Shinseonro from the Nambu Driver's License Examination Office Junction going towards 49호 광장. Slow-moving traffic on Yeonsuro from Mangmi Junction going towards Suyong Junction. 그래서 모두 다
Drive safe.
부탁드릴게요.
부탁드립니다.
제발.
차발. 차발.
차발 아니고 제발.
차발. My son has started saying a car, and I'm like, what does that mean? A car.
A car.
Instead of okay.
Our car.
Our car. Not our car, but like a car.
A car, okay.
And he also says IDC for I don't care. IDK for I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I just like,
Wow.
speak properly.
Yeah. He's really like cutting down.
And he's like,
on
that
the
ain't
time.
right. And I'm like, you ain't right. Stop saying ain't. Ain't a word.
You know, he's getting it from somewhere. And I don't want to be pointing fingers.
No
but...
tubu.
Oh, 그래?
I'm a stickler for correct language. I really am. I even correct him when he says dirty or like Saturday. I'm like, no, we say Saturday. We use
Saturday.
this. We say the T's and the D's. Saturday. That's why the T is there.
Oh.
Saturday. If the T was a D, then you can say Saturday.
Oh, I must be like scratching a chalkboard for you when I say Saturday.
Not at all, because you were born and grew up in a place that used that language and that 억양 and that 말투.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's listening to 너튜브, or he's got his like little gang at school, and because there's kids from all over the world.
Sure.
In his class.
Yeah.
So everybody starts to like sound like each other.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean, I guess the one thing you could take from it is he's learning new words.
Absolutely, but he's learning them incorrectly for my standard. And also, his little friends are running around speaking Scottish.
Ooh.
No, they're not really, but it would be good. It would be good if that happened.
Nice. Well, I'm glad he's getting along. It sounds like he's having a good time.
Yeah.
Right?
Why did I start talking about that?
Oh, I have no idea.
No idea.
Yeah. Anyways. It's your turn.
It is my turn. It's my turn because every Monday you do Worldwide Whatevers. Every Wednesday I do Me Time. And, well, let's just get into it. I'm always so sad when the mics come up because I love this song so much.
Yeah, very chill.
It's so good.
But we want to put people in a very kind of relaxed and chill mood as we get into Me Time. Because it's a time for you. It's a time for me. And it's a time for you. I mean, the listeners.
It's time. So Me Time, of course, as you probably know by now, Me Time is all about taking time for yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, go and get a massage or go and do something that is away from the family and all that, and sitting on a mountain meditating with goats in the background. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
You can if you want to, but Me Time is all about finding moments in your daily life that you can use to boost up your wellness, to boost up your well-being, moments that are really enriching your experience. Yeah, and how you spend your days.
That's exactly what the definition of Me Time is.
Yeah, time for you.
Yeah.
And I like Me Time, but I also kind of think it would be really nice if we could make every single moment of the day Me Time. And I don't mean sit at home, watch Netflix and eat chips all day, which would be also good.
Yeah.
But like the time where we're spending studying, if that could be classified as Me Time.
Because for a lot of people it is.
Well, here's the thing. See if we change our mindset, then we can absolutely have every moment of the day as me time.
Yeah.
If we're willing to change our mindset.
But it's hard, especially for people that work, have families, have kids.
You work in a job that you hate as well.
Oh, that too.
That's really tough. Really tough to change your mindset. But I just want to throw it out there. When you change your mindset, when you change your perspective, then your experience of life changes too. So think about, as much as possible, think about every moment of the day as me time. So how is this enriching my life?
Yeah.
And it allows us to be a bit more present.
Because I feel like doing that, you also end up cutting things out that, aren't as important or aren't as helpful. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So today I prepared a little thing. But actually, I wanted to talk about 장마.
장마.
A little bit. Rainy season.
Yeah.
Monsoon season. And the reason is, it is very much upon us. And that means that we spend more time indoors.
Yes.
Most of us spend more time indoors during rainy season, which means there's not as many things to enjoy during the summer, because we like to go out, we like to enjoy our summer holiday, but if it's raining, we get a little bit down in the dumps.
You don't want to do anything.
You don't want to do anything. A lot of people get affected by the weather.
Oh, yeah.
Like gloomy days turns to gloomy moods. For me, it's the opposite. I love a rainy day. Love it. But I think a lot of people get really negatively affected by the weather. So it is that time of year when we have monsoons. I wanted to suggest that we do a little bit of gardening.
Oh.
Yeah. Indoor gardening.
Plants.
Yes, plants.
And flowers.
And the reason being is, so I have a veranda in my house, I have a balcony, and it's an indoor enclosed one. So I go in to the balcony, and that's where I keep all my plants. And I go in there and I talk to them daily, and I say lovely things to them, very sweet things. And I'm teaching my son to do the same. Because research has shown, much research has shown that plants they're so over. Plants are very dramatic.
Yeah.
So they react to the energy and the waves in the air. They react to water. They react to everything. And
it's that one study that everybody hears about. There's a classroom of kids, and they have two plants, and they would go to one plant and say nice things to it, and they go to the other plant and say negative things to it. You're stupid.
Yeah.
Or you stink.
You stink. You're rubbish.
Yeah. And then the growth in the plant that gets a lot of love, way better compared to, or way more compared to, let's say, the one that didn't get so much love.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
because
plants react.
Plants are living things, right? And they are made up of energy. We are made up of energy. So they are reacting to the energy waves. If you break us down into the scientific molecule, we are emitting certain waves and we're giving that to other people. So it's just like with humans. If you're in a bad mood, somebody else in the room can probably tell that you're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Right? You just feel that energy. So I go into my plants room and I say all the lovely things. Sometimes I kiss them and I think, would that scare them? I don't know.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in your veranda.
It's special. It's fun. I love it. And I really love it. And my plants grow so well. And when plants aren't growing so well, I'll talk to them and I'll spend more time and I'll say, come on, you guys, we're going to boost up this guy's energy.
Yeah.
And I was looking into this because I wanted to buy something that I could hear my plants talk back to me. And so I prepared a clip. So I want you to listen to this. This is such a fantastic thing, and I'm going to buy one if I can.
Oh.
And so here's the clip for you, and take a listen, see what you think.
I really enjoy listening to philodendron and snake plants. Any plant that inspires me along the way on a hike with a beautiful view.
Let's tune into the sounds played by this plant.
We just attach 2 sensors to a plant's leaves, and PlantWave detects these slight variations that are happening in plants based on them moving water around. We graph those variations as a wave, translate them into pitch, and then run those pitch messages through instruments that we design. So the result is this continuous stream of pleasing music that gives us all this sonic window into the secret life of plants. As many of you have been asking, what would a redwood tree sound like? Let's see what melodies it creates when we connect the plant wave. If a plant is really underwatered, it might play just a few notes, whereas if a plant is really healthy and thriving, it will be going through like the whole range.
Looks like we have a plant here that may not have made it through this heat. So let's check it out. Let's see if it can make any music. Yeah, nothing. Let's see what happens when I water the plant. Let's listen.
Every plant is different and every leaf is different.
So here we are listening to this rubber tree. And now let's check out this pothos. Plant wave actually works with mushrooms as well. So let's check it out.
Most of the time with mushrooms, though, the mushrooms are growing out of a dead plant. And so you're actually hearing the connection between 2 mushrooms through a dead plant. The development of PlantWave started back in 2011 when I started a record label called Data Garden, and it was a zero waste.
Oh, that's trippy.
Yes, it
So-
is indeed.
Yeah, so for listeners, I guess who couldn't, picture it, it's basically him hooking up these cables to plants.
Yeah.
And then the plants would send out different types of like wavelengths, right? And those wavelengths would be turned into sounds and music. So all the like the music type sounds that you were hearing, those are all coming from plants.
Yeah, all of those. So basically, they just exactly what you said. They just transform the energy that's coming out, the waves that are coming out of the plants, and they built this little thing. You can find this on Ku Deng Deng.
You can?
You can.
Interesting.
But it's 88만 8,000원.
It's like almost like a musical instrument right there.
But the thing is, I mean, it's a tiny little box, but think about what it's doing.
Yeah.
Think about the technology that was used to be able to create this. So you can find it on Ku Deng Deng, and if you order now, it will arrive by July 25th.
It's coming out of the country, obviously.
But you can go online and check this out. This is fantastic, PlantWave. So I suggest, for me time, why don't you spend some time doing some indoor gardening?
Yeah. I've been doing not a lot of this, but some of this the past couple of weeks,
Do
actually.
you have green fingers?
No, I do not. Because I recently took a couple of my potted plants to, what do you call people that sell potted plants? They're not florists. Are they florists? And they're not gardeners either, right?
What do you call someone who sells plants? A plantist?
A plantist, I guess.
Sure,
So I went to my local plantist, and he took all the plants out of their pots, and then he scraped away all the old soil, and he goes, here, come here, look, 보이죠? 썩었어요. So basically rot.
So too much water.
And he said many things, too much water, and maybe you gave it too much water and then just let it rest for too long, and then you basically let the rot take over. So to answer your question, green fingers, not so much. That's why I'm trying to up my plant game.
Yeah. Well, there's so many good reasons, and especially Changma is the perfect time to do it, because while the rain is pouring on all the plants that are already outside and making our beautiful country green and fresh and lush, we can do these kind of things on the inside, and there's lots of benefits to it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things to do, a lot of things that I prepared. So the things, I just want to tell you about some of the benefits of indoor gardening.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions that you could do really easily.
Okay.
And you can order all of this online on Kutingting or other places.
이거 홈쇼핑 아닙니다.
그렇죠. But because if you don't want to go out, then you don't have to go out. You can also go to a local like dollar store, like Da Ding Ding, and you can get all of these things that you need for really, really low cost.
Yeah.
But this is a hobby that you can do every single day at a very low cost, and you can get all of the information online. It's perfect for this season. It's perfect for being inside. So first of all, you can do it any time of the year, not just Tangma, obviously. But plants are really good for improved air quality.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They're natural air purifiers.
Yes, absolutely. So they help remove toxins, they release oxygen, and it improves the air quality in your home. So if you have a plant in your home, there's certain types that are much better at improving the air quality than others. Do a little bit of research, but have a couple of plants in every room, and you can freshen up your zones of air.
You know what I love? I can't do that too much these days, but I would open some windows at home and a breeze would come through.
Yeah.
And what they would do, the breeze would kind of shake the leaves on some of my plants and they would make this like fluttering noise. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in like a little tiny forest in my home.
And that makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
It makes you feel really good. And indoor gardening is really good for your mental health and for stress relief for that exact reason, because it makes you feel connected to nature.
Yeah.
So especially like during COVID, for example, or times when we can't go outside due to whatever the weather, or, you know, maybe you're suffering an illness or an injury, etc., and you're kind of, you know, not as mobile as you'd like to be, not able to get out. Having plants in your home is really beneficial for your brain, for your mind, for your body, for all of that. So it's very therapeutic, very calming.
I would recommend any type of vine plants if you want that, you know, that thing that I just described. You know, winds blowing through and then like the vines kind of like, you know, like 부딪혀ing each other. You know,
enjoying each other.
Yeah, it just makes this like
Whacking
nice
each
like
other.
fluttering sound
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah,
it's
so
really therapeutic.
It's like it's a meditative nature sound. It's like ASMR, right?
Yeah. Oh, no 좋아요.
And so, especially with the rain outside, get yourself a cup of tea, a couple of plants, open the windows, let the breeze come in, and just enjoy.
생각만 하니까 너무 좋다.
그렇죠. Also, if you're choosing to do some indoor gardening with plants that you can actually get produce from, that's such an exciting part of it. So for me specifically, I want to grow some tomatoes, and so I'm learning a little bit about how to grow tomatoes indoors. And one of the things is that you need to self-propagate the tomato plants, otherwise it won't work. You won't get like when the flowers come up, you've got to shake them a little bit to propagate.
Oh, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So, but when you do that and you actually get some produce.
Like results, yeah.
How exciting is that to be able to eat your own fresh herbs, your own lettuce, your own your own like all of these different things. And it's a great way as well to be able to reduce cost of your own shopping, but also to just be more what's the word? Not self-sufficient, but self-sustaining, I guess.
Yeah.
In terms of your food and where your food comes from.
Yeah. You know, you eat from the land, as they say.
Exactly. And speaking of which, you know, if you have kids, or if you are a kid, it's a great educational experience to have children understand where food comes from, where plants come from. So our kids, I mean, I guess Korea is pretty different because there's a lot of bantan around, but I was watching this TV show and kids in the UK, kids in the States, they were asked, you know, what is this vegetable? What is this fruit? Where does this come from? Where does this grow? And a lot of them were like, I don't know what that is. Like looking at a tomato, I don't know.
Like 엄마 brings it.
엄마 brings it.
엄마가 집에 갖고 오는데요, 그냥.
Or they've never seen like a fresh one.
It's always like chopped up in salads.
It's like they don't know what the peel looks like. They like, you know, it's never been something that they've been able to put their hands on and be like, oh, this doesn't come in a can.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a really good way for children to learn about where things come from. And I think more and more so these days, we don't really have that experience for kids that much.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I grew up in my grandma's garden, like learning about, remember I told you about rhubarb and you're like, what's rhubarb?
Yeah.
So I grew up growing things in the garden. I'd be out every day just tending to the garden and I loved it. And it was so wonderful to just get my hands dirty and be in it all about it. But my son doesn't have that. My son doesn't have that experience.
And it's one thing about living in the city here in Busan, you don't have too much access, to gardening / just nature in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so anyway, lots and lots of benefits, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest a few things that you could do that you might want to think about as a me time event during this rainy season where it's difficult to get out. So, first up, you could create a mini terrarium.
This is something that I've been dying to try out.
Really?
Yeah, because I would watch a bunch of Natu videos on this.
It's so fun.
It's fun, and you see the time lapse of people. It's just basically just dirt and a couple rocks.
Yeah.
And they would just throw in a couple, blades of grass and stuff, right? And then, life comes out of it.
Yeah.
The guy that I was watching, he didn't even throw an insects in there, and just one day, insects appeared.
Yeah.
They had eggs or something probably in the sand that he put in, but it's just so crazy, terrariums.
Yeah. It's so cool. So basically a terrarium, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like a mini ecosystem. So what you do is you are creating a mini ecosystem inside a glass bowl or a Perspex bowl. And they're so cute. They're so... they're just so nice to look at.
They are.
But they do develop incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
And especially bugs. So just be careful because you can get a lot of bugs in there.
Yeah.
But
snails too
they
sometimes.
look so nice. Yeah. I where do they come from?
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. That's just how... That's science, baby.
Science, baby. And so I remember when I first got my hermit crabs, I put dirt in their terrarium.
Yeah.
And then these little bugs started forming and I was like, oh, it was disgusting. And I wanted to get them out of there. But then I was like, well, maybe because sorake, or hermit crabs, are scavengers. So they eat anything. They eat carcasses, they eat fruit, they eat everything.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, just leave them in, leave the bugs in there. Let the hermit crabs go for it.
Yeah. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, but
let's have that workout
it's a bit too
in the terrarium.
It's a bit too
Interesting. So that's something that maybe you could pick up, terrariums. They do take a little setting up, though, in the beginning.
Yeah.
But all you set it up and then you just kind of leave it be and you just watch it grow.
Watch it grow.
Yeah.
It's so cool. You could also, if you're not into that, you could create a fairy garden.
What's a fairy garden?
So it's like a little garden scene. So what you would do is you don't necessarily have to have the plants growing, but you can. But what you would do is you get a garden scene. So I did one way back in the day. My grandma had this old mirror in a frame. And so I used this as the base of my garden. And then the mirror was water. And then so I just built up different parts of what was a garden on top of this mirror. So using plants from her garden, I would just add bits and bobs and then...
Oh, that's something I think you do with your kids. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
And it's so fun, and you can add little fairy lights and add characters in there.
Oh, that's
and-
cute.
Yeah.
My daughter loves decorating stuff, so
Yeah.
that's something that she could enjoy.
She would love that. And
Yeah.
again, you can go to your local dollar store, grab a couple of Tupperware pots,
Yeah.
and just start having fun. Just
That sounds fun.
adding stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very underrated, I feel like, gardening, because sometimes you think picking up hobbies and stuff, and they take up a lot of time and a lot of money. Gardening, I could see it taking up a lot of time because it's also the waiting game.
Yeah.
Right, when it comes to gardening, but once it starts showing the seeds you planted and stuff, once you start sprouting up and stuff like you said, you get that. It's a very therapeutic kind of process that you go through. You grow along with the plants almost.
Satisfying. And it teaches us patience as well. It
그렇죠.
teaches us how to slow down because we do have to wait.
중요하죠.
We're I'm all for next day delivery. Give me that rocket delivery.
That's the only thing I look at when ordering.
I'm just I'll click on it. Does it come tomorrow? No, don't want it. Right? And
맞아요.
how entitled is that?
Yeah.
So gardening is also a wonderful lesson in slowing down and appreciating the moment, appreciating nature, and appreciating how long it takes to grow and sustain life.
Yeah, I love that. Gardening, folks, a very, very proper me time if you're looking for one.
Yeah.
Indoor gardening specifically.
Yes, indoor gardening.
Hey,
during
you
this
can do it
rainy
out. Like if you
season.
can doing it outside sounds just as good too. Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you, Laura. You've given me plenty of ideas.
Well, if I get one of those plant waves, then I'll bring it into the studio. Have we got any plants in here?
We have a couple growing. Like we have like a couple of those tree plants in the corners of our
Tree
station.
plants. Oh yeah, that's right. So we can hook up to the tree.
Yeah. I want to hook it up to my fingers, see what it's thinking.
See what it's thinking.
Yeah. Anyways, nice. That was today's Me Time. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
You'll be back with us next week?
I will indeed. I'll also be here after this song. This is Bob Marley and the Wailers. Jamin.
Alright, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, jamming, and I hope you like jamming too. And the rules ain't no vow, we can do it anyhow. I and I will see you through. 'Cause every day we pay the price, we're the living sacrifice. Jamming till the jam is through. We're jamming. To think that jamming was a thing of the past. We're jamming. And I hope this jam is gonna last. No bullet will stop us now. We need to beg, no, we won't bow. Neither can be bought nor sold. We all defend the right. Our children must unite. Your life is worth much more than gold. We're jamming, 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 and we're jamming in the name of the Lord. We're jamming, 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 we're jamming, we're jamming right straight from your Holy Mount Zion, Holy Mount Zion, just seated in Mount Zion, and rules all creation. Yeah, we're jamming. What you are, we're jamming. What you are, I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, 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 and John, I hope you're jamming too. John knows I might have tried. The truth again is high to keep you satisfied. True love I now exist is the love I can't resist. So stand by my side. We're jamming, 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 jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, 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 we're jamming. Hope you like jamming too. Jamming, we're jamming, jamming, we're jamming, we're jamming, jamming. I wanna jam with you. I wanna jam with you now. We're jamming, jamming, we're jamming, jamming. Hope you like jamming too. And I hope you like jamming, jamming, jamming. 'Cause I wanna jam it with you. I wanna jam it with you. Jamming, jamming. I hope you. I wanna jam it with you. I hope you like jamming too.
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 Writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳 뮤지엄 오브 일루전 부산 착시미술관 입장권 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리 Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
Back, everybody.
Why?
Oh, it's so
What happened?
funny. Just the conversation we were just having about gardening
I mean, because
during the song.
Yeah.
Because like we talk about hip hop and it's like, oh yeah, we love The Office and we're like, yeah, blah blah blah. And then the last thing I just said to Minsu was, yeah, okay, then I'll propagate some violets for you.
I love it. And you know what? That comes with just, growing up.
Yeah.
Right?
Even though we're younger today, because the in Korea the age system has rolled back. So we're no longer using Korean age system. So we're much younger now.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
But
so mature.
This is such a good segue into today's quote unquote, which we're getting into right now. Because
Yes.
on the theme of age today, we talked about getting younger. But, for some people, getting younger, it might feel good. But then it might be a burden for, I don't know, people that might even want to try to live up to their younger age. But, they're no longer maybe physically or mentally able to.
Ah,
I mean?
yes.
So I
Young
brought
at heart, old in body.
Exactly. So I
Yikes.
brought a clip to share with you today. It's from one of my favorite shows called Friends. Let's go hear the clip.
How sad are we?
Yeah, I know. You know what? We're not sad. We're not sad. We're just not 21 anymore. I'm 29 years old, and I want to sit in a comfortable chair and watch television and go to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, and I like to hang out in a quiet place where I could talk to my friends.
Yeah.
And so what if I like to go home, throw on some Kenny G, and take a bath? We're 29. We're not women.
Oh, Joey.
Joey, Ross, and Chandler. This is from one episode where they've come to realize they're not as young as they used to be.
Yeah.
Right? And that's maybe something that some of us are going through, especially on a day like today where, people are supposedly getting younger as we adopt the mannae system.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what's something that you've come to give up / kind of like sacrifice because you realize this is just something that I can't do anymore, being at the age that I am now?
So not as young as I used to be. So I think, first of all, I never ever use the word sacrifice. I think sacrifice just gives the impression that it's a negative thing.
Oh. Yeah.
So I never ever say sacrifice. I'll never say I sacrifice my time for my children. Because it's something that I'm choosing to do. It's my choice, right? So I'm prioritizing.
Yeah.
I would say one thing that I don't do anymore, which I physically cannot do, and also just don't want to do, is go out to bars or clubs and
맞아요.
be out until 2, 3. Ask my husband 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
So I was in Taiwan, obviously, last week, and then we were driving to the airport, and it was about because we left just after 5. So we were driving. It was 5:20 in the morning, driving through Taipei City, and we could see lots of people out on the streets. And I was like, I used to be that person out on the streets at 5 a.m. After the clubs had kicked out, and you're like, right, where's the food?
Yeah.
And I saw lots of restaurants open 24 hours, and I was like, oh, 해장국. I want to go and eat this 해장국.
I feel like because you're around that atmosphere, you kind of, like get yourself to do that.
You want to do it though.
Yeah.
It's like it's fun and it's exciting. But these days, first of all, because I just don't want to wake up. I don't have the time for it. First of all, I have 2 kids, but I don't want to wake up feeling tired. I don't want to compromise my health for the sake of drinking a couple too many shots at the bar. And once in a while, I want to go out and have fun. But these days, because financially and mature-wise and all of that kind of stuff, I want to do something a little bit different.
Yeah. Exactly.
I still want to go to the club sometimes.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Chandler, Ross, and Joey were going through because they were supposedly hang out with a friend that they, when they were younger, they were doing all these crazy things.
Yeah.
But now they tried to do the same thing in that episode. They just couldn't do it anymore.
Can't do it.
And they were just so sad because they realized that they're older.
Yeah.
But that's actually the point I wanted to make. And maybe, once again, with the 만나이, everybody getting younger, maybe there's some listeners out there, no matter how young I get, I don't feel young because, maybe you feel like you sacrifice. But no, it's more prioritizing, knowing what's important in your life right now that, you should be focused on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like we kept saying, age is nothing but a number, but it's a number that you kind of have to, own up to and respect, right? So...
Here's the thing. Being young is like something that, if we're lucky, we all get to go through. And being young is also a time when we get to make so many mistakes. We get to do stuff that's really stupid. We get to try all the different things.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you realize that getting old, because when you're young, you're like, oh, I don't want to get old. Look at this 30-year-old woman. She's so old.
Yeah.
What?
30-year-old woman is so old.
And then as you get older and you get older and older, and again, I'm in my brain, I'm still super duper young, and in my heart, I'm super duper young, and my body is different. But I wouldn't say that my body is aging. I would say my body is just, it's just going the way that it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's a temporary casing for this beautiful soul that resides inside here. But I think aging and getting older is a privilege that not all of us get to do.
맞아요. So on a day like today, once again, maybe some people out there doing a retrospective on the life that you've lived up to this point. Yeah, hopefully it's not like a downer or anything where, everybody's getting younger, but I don't feel that young.
Yeah.
But it's a number, but it's a number that you kind of have to live up to and own up to.
What was your quote?
It was, we're not 21 anymore.
We're not as young as we used to be.
I didn't zone in on the specific quote.
What was
we're
your
not
quote?
21 anymore. I want to go and just enjoy some alone time, some quiet time. So says Chandler.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was today's quote unquote.
That was today's quote unquote. Thanks, Minsu.
No problem.
All right. It's time for us to say goodbye.
Already the show is up.
I know. Today's show produced by Kim Yoon, written by Im Soo-jin, hosted by Laura McCluckey.
And Min Shin.
What's the final song?
Our last little number is by Incubus, Dry.
Love it. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Sometimes I feel the fear of the uncertainty stinging clear. And I can't help but ask myself how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer. It's driven me before, and it seems to have a vague, haunting mass appeal. But lately, I'm beginning to find that I should be the one behind the wheel. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I decide to waver my chance to